What's up, guys? I am back to finally bring you your recap on Married to Medicine, Season 5, Episode 12, and it is titled Island Fever. Switch up. First, I must begin this recap with addressing Dr. Jackie confronting Curtis on the beach, with one stating that she is now forced to deal with him on a day-to-day basis while being in Barbados, opposed to being back in Atlanta, and it was under her terms and her conditions. But I was glad to finally see Dr. Jackie be honest and tell Curtis that it was very disrespectful of him to play around with Toya and pull her on his lap. She said, I get that you're joking and it was a funny thing and it was a joke, but some things are just totally inappropriate and disrespectful, and that was one of those times, my God. So it was a switch up from Dr. Jackie telling Toya last week that she wasn't really bothered by it and that she trusted Toya as well as she trusts Curtis, and that's why she has forgiven him. But now we see that she is speaking more of her truth and sharing that she did feel disrespected by that whole ass on the dick situation between Toya and Curtis. And I'm not sure if last week, if I clarified that from Toya's end, she was testing Curtis, but her ass did not get up off his dick quick enough, my God, for it to be just a test, my God. Next, I want to address the arrival of Dr. Daddy, aka Dr. Damon, Dr. Heavenly's husband. It was so interesting to hear that he only saw his father one time, and this is his first time back to Barbados since he was 17. And his dad was really well off or financially stable in Barbados, and he did not see his father often at all, nor his siblings or relatives. And it was just sad to hear, because I know from watching this show, we do see that Dr. Daddy is a very reserved and private person. He even did not want to share as to why it did not work between his mother and father, my God. But it was beautiful that he was able to receive some closure, because Heavenly had the bright idea to locate the tombstone or the place where his father was buried. Now, when they got to the church, I was wondering, since there was no tombstone or no marker, how did they know for sure that that was the actual spot where Dr. Daddy, aka Dr. Damon's father, was buried? And it is interesting that he died at the age of 89, my God, and Dr. Damon only saw him, I think it was once, and if it wasn't once, I know he had only been to Barbados one time, my God. Also, it was so annoying to hear Quad's ignorant ass. I'm telling you guys, I am losing total, complete, full respect for Quad as the season progresses. For her to interrupt Dr. Heavenly's sharing with all of the ladies about the experience and how emotional it was for her to take Dr. Daddy to have some closure with his father dying and so on and so forth, for her to ask for salt, pepper, and ketchup out of nowhere while it was a very emotional moment. Oh, this girl is just completely crazy. She is fully unaware of how she is so self-absorbed and only concerned with herself, my God. So I'm losing total respect and empathy as well as sympathy for Quad's ignorant ass, my God. Now, I do have to call out Dr. Jackie one bit, because I'm getting tired of her being the moral compass of the show while also throwing shade and unnecessary shade towards Toya, because even on the bus, she said something to the effect of, Toya, you're not that important for you to be on my mind or for me to be concerned about you. And I love me some Dr. Jackie, and she has been through a lot, and she is a light in a dark place, my God. But she has to pull that subliminal, unintentional, maybe intentional shade towards Toya, because Toya lets it slide, but I feel like I would be so offended if she approached me, addressed me in that manner that she has been thus far, especially this season in reference to Toya, my God. It was also interesting and funny to see Toya and Dr. Eugene beefing about who is to blame for their lack of sex, because even Dr. Eugene said, you weren't butt-ass naked this morning ready for sex, so don't only blame me. But it's always funny because Toya has amazing punchlines or perspectives on situations. And for her to say that she did not want to be outsexed by all the other couples because Mariah said her and her baby daddy, her husband, her boo, was getting it on all night, my God. But for Toya to say that it was like a competition and she did not want to be outsexed, my God, it was so hilarious because even Dr. Eugene said, I am not competing with other couples when it pertains to sex with my wife, my God. It was also interesting to see that Dr. Contessa and her husband was catching the lack of affection and intimacy between Dr. Greg and Quad, because that whole him putting her in a chokehold and then trying to kiss her and hug her. As I said last week, it is so wrong for Quad to deny her husband because then she will cause him to not want to take those chances and show her affection. But I do understand when things are not right and your spouse or partner is trying to publicly act as if they show you love, but in private they really don't, it is hard to receive it. But I'm not giving Quad a pass because if he is making steps and strides at this couples retreat and couples getaway, this is the time to kind of let your walls down and see if you can progress into a positive space with Dr. Greg, although he's being an asshole on this trip, my God. And even the fellas, when they were in their separate group and the ladies were in their separate group, everyone was calling out Dr. Greg for going hard on Quad in the Heavenly Couples game, my God. Now, I'm going to try to address this sex therapy scene in detail because there were so many jewels and nuggets and pearls of wisdom that came from this sex therapist. She was actually great because she touched my heart, my spirit, in my situation in many ways, my God, from the advice and just things that she was saying and sharing. But it was so hilarious that Dr. Damon, in all of his reservedness and not wanting to talk about sex publicly with other couples, he was holding that glass so tight for him to break it. I don't know what he was going through, but Daddy definitely had some strength, my God. But it was such a cute moment. Like, it was so cute because it happened and he was so sincere and was like, I didn't mean to break it. I was just holding it too tight. So he is definitely a teddy bear type of guy. I hope that the persona that he gives on camera is what he really is behind closed doors, because you guys know I preach about being mindful of those public, kind teddy bears that really aren't so kind and teddy bearish behind closed doors, my God. So I pray that he is really that same man behind closed doors. Simone is still mentioning that Cecil does not say I love you, and that is all she really wants. And I kind of connect, and that resonates with me because I've been in a relationship where I love you was not said that often. Calls were not made to check up on me and to say that the person was thinking about me. So I truly get where Dr. Simone is coming from. And while that may not seem big to other people, when you have been in a marriage for 20 years or me for 10 years, those things become very important. Those little things to let me know that I'm a priority and important, that you love me, are more significant than great finances or a nice home or having kids. It's those little things that sustain a relationship and make you want to stay in it longer than you already are, my God. And without those things, it's almost like you're missing something that you should be receiving. So I totally understand Dr. Simone's point of view and feelings as to her wanting love and to hear I love you from Cecil. And even Cecil pretty much admitted that he does not call her and say that he's thinking about her. So it was great when the therapist said, do you ever think about Dr. Simone? He said, yes, I think about her a lot. So it is okay for you, as she said, to call her or text in that moment and say, I'm thinking about you. And I will tell you guys, that will make all the world of a difference. That can create a whole new spouse. The spouse that was being a bitch over every little thing can now become this sweetheart and cater to you like never before, if you just give us priority, love, and show that you care about us and don't neglect us. Now, the whole group, including the viewers, my God, we all side-eye Curtis's ass when he asked the therapist, how do you get your partner to experience and try new things? And my thing, Curtis, your ass is still in the doghouse. You don't have the right to ask your partner about doing new things, my God, because you've already been doing new things without her. And it was so funny because the therapist immediately went to threesomes, and She said, you just have to ask and know what your partner's boundaries are. And when Heavenly said in her confessional that Dr. Jackie and Curtis have already been having threesomes, it's just that Dr. Jackie was not present, my God. I was like, Heavenly girl, you are always blowing up the spot. But she was right. Like, Curtis has already been trying new things, my God. So he needed to focus on a different question. But I get what he was trying to ask. I guess it was just the wrong time. And he's just so inappropriate, my God. He's supposed to be repairing this marriage and trying to salvage it and reconcile. But I feel like some of the questions that he asks or things he does is just wrong. Next, it was amazing to hear that Dr. G expects his wife or a woman to do any and every nasty little thing that he wants based off of loving somebody. And it was so profound and great when the therapist said that just because someone loves you does not mean that they're going to do things that make them feel uncomfortable or things that they are uncomfortable with, my God. But I was just gagging that Dr. G, as this therapist, that this is his way of thinking, my God. It was also profound when the therapist said, and this touched my heart, that your partner can do any and everything that you want, except for that one thing that makes you feel loved, and nothing else matters. Nothing else counts. Your marriage will not be solid. So Curtis was asked the question, does he know what those things are, what that one thing is? And he said he needs time and to feel important. And you guys are going to gag because I 100% agree with Curtis's ass. Time and feeling important is so significant in a relationship. I have to feel like a priority. I have to be the most important person in your world, my God. So I totally agree with what he is saying. And this is not to negate Dr. Jackie's hurt, nor is this to blame Dr. Jackie for Curtis cheating on her, my God. But she is to blame for him feeling neglected, wanting time from her, and him not feeling important. She is to blame for that, my God. And I know you guys will comment and people will say, you can't blame the other spouse for that person cheating. Cheating is wrong regardless. If you're unhappy, if you're sad, if you're lonely, just leave. And that is not how marriages work. Most of y'all asses who say they are single and have never been in a marriage nor a long-term relationship, because people don't just get up and leave and give up. They try to make it work and they try to find ways to fill that void. And sometimes it happens to be cheating, even though that is wrong. But people have also said that, well, Dr. Jackie is a doctor and Curtis knew who he was marrying, my God. Yes, he knew he was marrying a doctor, but I don't think he signed up for total neglect and for her patients to always be her priority. And just as Curtis knew that Dr. Jackie was a doctor, Dr. Jackie's ass knew she was a doctor before she married Curtis. And she should have been aware as to how to divide her time to make sure her husband feels important and loved and not neglected just as much as her patients, my God. And even the therapist said that. She said, the same way you are focused on making your patients not feel lonely, that's the same thing your husband feels. And even Dr. Jackie admitted and said a light bulb came on, because although Curtis is not ill, he is still feeling alone and there is a lack, by God. So again, I must reiterate that this is not about blaming Dr. Jackie for Curtis deciding and actually moving forward with the actions of cheating, but she is responsible here for something, and she is responsible and to blame for a void that he has had. Then Contessa's ass in her mic said Curtis is full of shit, and then her husband said he's an asshole. And it's not that Curtis is saying nor blaming Dr. Jackie. He is just saying what made him feel a type of way, and it caused him to cheat. But as I keep saying, the feelings that he felt, the neglect he felt, was all at the fault of Dr. Jackie. And I have her back. I feel for her with her being cheated on and the humiliation that goes along with that. But I'm never going to allow a spouse to not take ownership for their part in issues in a marriage, especially as it pertains to a partner being neglected, not feeling loved, appreciated, nor a priority, my God. Next, let's address the whole blood pressure at the church scene, where all of the doctors put on their white coats to go help the less fortunate, but it was interesting that it took a turn for the worse for a person who was so unexpected, and we found out that Dr. Eugene's blood pressure was abnormally high. I think Dr. Jackie said that he could have a stroke or something like that, my God, because of it being so high. And it was interesting because it went from Dr. Eugene telling the young boy that he needs to exercise and take care of himself, and he does as well. But then we find out that this doctor is not taking his own medication, my God. But it's like, how can you as a doctor encourage others and not encourage yourself? But I will agree with Dr. Jackie. Doctors are their worst patients. Just like in my field, I'm a beauty expert, a cosmetologist, and in our field, other cosmetologists are our worst clients. If you go into the field of therapists are the worst clients in reference to them not taking the advice nor using their own advice, my God, that they would give others. It was also great that Toya made it clear to Mariah that she wanted Eugene to take a day or days off to make sure that he was getting the proper rest and being healthy. So although we see at times that Toya does come across very selfish with wanting Eugene to work, and she's not working and she's not adding to helping him pay back the taxes, she's just a stay-at-home mom, a housewife, but it was great to see that she is definitely concerned about her husband's health and well-being, my God. Now on this yacht that Heavenly set up, that was completely on a different scale and the appropriate level than Dr. Simone's boat from last year, my God. But it was interesting that Mariah was in a very humble spot in this moment to say that she is aware that she probably says things the wrong way and her tone is not right. But I do agree with Contessa in a sense where Contessa said, your tone is not different than anyone else's in this group, and that's true. Although I don't like Mariah, everyone else does have a tone whenever they address something or they are feeling some type of way. But I do have to say that Mariah does start some shit, my God, and she does say a lot of the wrong things at the wrong time. And Heavenly does as well, but Mariah always seems as if she is coming from a very foul place, as if she's never being really genuine. But I do acknowledge in this scene and episode, I was surprised to see her own up to her wrongs and really say that she does say things the wrong way. Now, Quad's ass jumping in it and being extra and trying to go in on Mariah, like, Quad, either you're going to acknowledge Mariah and be her friend or be respectful of her, not be her friend, be respectful of her, or you're going to shut your ass up and not jump in when she is addressing things that are more serious. Keep your mouth shut unless you're going to be in the conversations in productive times, as well as when it's time to call out Mariah. Because even Mariah said, y'all never give me a pass. Y'all always take it easy on Quad. And I do agree, although I understand Quad's feelings and perspectives as it pertains to what Mariah does. But even Simone said that they're lighter on Quad because she's so sensitive. But Simone, that is the bullshit, because Quad is a grown-ass woman. I don't care how young she is still a grown-ass woman. And even Mariah said, y'all take it out on her because she is the youngest. She's still a grown-ass, married-ass woman, my God. Then Quad's ignorant ass shouts out that she has never had a break from this group, and Quad has always had the most support from this group, more than Mariah has had. And I'm going to say again that I personally do believe that Mariah has caused a lot of drama, but Quad can't say she has not had a break because everyone has been by the side and pretty much agreed with Quad on all sides of the situation until this season, where Quad is just not being the Quad that we originally liked and fell in love with. She's being very selfish this season, my God. But that's about it, guys. This is my recap on Married to Medicine. Please follow me on all social media outlets. Thumbs up this video. Comment down below in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notifications. And thank you guys for tuning in. Bye.